AOC. What? She's kind of fun in a silly but earnest, wrong but adorable way. She's like your daughter when she comes back from her first year at Brown, full of half-baked, half opinions, in need of some gentle, patient deprogramming. But people have to realize new faces doesn't mean new ideas. Drives me crazy. AOC has never introduced a fresh idea or issue in her life.
Greg Gutfeld just jumped into politics like he's holding a big sparkler. And guess who he's pointing it at? AOC. Yup, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the queen of cool speeches and sassy Twitter posts. But this time, she's not the one talking. She's the one getting called out. What did Greg find out that's got everyone shocked? Trust me, this isn't just boring politics. It's funny, wild, and maybe even stuff that could shake up her job.
There is nothing consistent with the Republican Party's continued attack except for the racism and incitement of violence against women of color in this. The Republican caucus threatened my life, and you all and the Republican caucus rewarded him with one of the most prestigious committee assignments in this Congress. Don't tell me this is about consistency. Don't tell me that this is about a condemnation of anti.
You're enjoying.
Hope you're liking this. Please hit subscribe on the channel. It helps a ton. Greg Gutfeld calling out AOC isn't just a political fight. It's like a super funny comedy show pretending to be news. If you've seen AOC, you know she acts like a superhero in Congress. No cape needed, but an Instagram filter? Totally required.
She gets along with Bernie is because she's like an 80-year-old leftist in a used store. I mean, she may look fresh, but she's as stale as an abandoned futon on the street. It's like, I listen to her, I go, I heard that at Berkeley in 1983. So their problem is, and the reason why they don't have any ideas is they operate on half opinions. Like, what if we get rid of cash bail? Oh, let's do it. What happens? You have repeat criminals wreaking havoc. What if we have sanctuary cities? Hey, let's do it. What happens? You have rapists and killers, finding sanctuary, safe haven. What if we give...
She says she'll save the planet, fix poor people's problems, make everyone equal, and maybe even teach your cat some tricks, all before lunch. Then Greg comes along, listens to her speeches, and says, this isn't politics. This is like a comedy show, and I'm stealing the spotlight.
I love how she explains it. They're not meant for you, right? But then you have to ask, okay, then what is this debt forgiveness? Who is it meant for? And when you look at the data, it's upper, white, middle-class, liberal women. This ain't welfare, right? These are well-to-do people. It's a bribe for Democrats on the backs of plumbers, truckers, and everyone else who actually does a real job, unlike me. AOC is the symbol of the entitled sponge. She complains about student loans, but she owns a Tesla.
The funniest thing is how you can totally guess what's coming. AOC storms in like she's the hero for workers, talking about fancy gardens and free stuff for everyone. Then Greg steps in like that sarcastic uncle at dinner who can't let her big ideas slide without a joke.
Think about what their ideas incentivize. That would be nice. So where are their ideas going to come from? Trump. The only way they're going to create a message is based on whatever Trump does. So I have some slogans for the Democrat Party.
Oh, wow.
The Democrat Party, when you're tired of success.
Okay.
The Democrat Party, make America suck again. Democrat Party, the first choice for illegals, vandals, dead people.
He doesn't use boring charts or papers to argue. Nope, he takes her whole speech, twists it like pizza dough, and bakes it into a comedy pie. Suddenly, her huge money plans sound less like serious ideas and more like a kid spending too much at a candy store. But it's not just laughs, it's about showing the truth. Greg isn't just giggling at AOC's big talk. He's pointing out how she says one thing but does another. Like how she says she hates rich people stuff, but wears fancy $200 sweatshirts and drinks super pricey juice that costs more than some family's groceries. And here's the good part. Greg doesn't just make fun of her ideas. He shows that her biggest wins seem to happen only on social media. To him, AOC's TikTok videos aren't about making laws. They're like a show. Sure, she's in Congress, but it feels like her real job is making Instagram videos with cool lights, planned speeches, and fans cheering like she's a rock star at a concert. When Greg says this, It hurts because it feels like he's saying what everyone's thinking, but too scared to say out loud. Maybe she's more like a social media star than a real lawmaker.
Worse, she owns a French bulldog. Thanks to Cat Temp, I know everything about French bulldogs. One thing I know, they are so expensive. They're more expensive than any college tuition that you got to take care of them. They're adorable dogs. She owns a Tesla and she owns a French bulldog, and she wants you or your dad, the electrician, to forgive her student loan. That's BS. Turn in the Tesla, sell the dog. I'll buy it half price.
And the proof? Oh, he's got it. He loves showing how AOC's big plan, the Green New Deal, isn't really a plan. It's more like a kid's wish list. Free doctor visits, free school, jobs for everyone, maybe even free pets. The problem? Nobody knows who's paying for it. AOC points at rich people and big companies like they're a giant piggy bank. But Greg reminds her that math is real. Suddenly, her dream world looks like your cousin asking for money, but never paying it back. Big, sweet, but not gonna happen. It's exciting, sure, maybe even inspiring. But when you take away the fancy words, it's like a toy house built with no instructions. The reactions are so funny to watch. On one side, people who love Greg share his jokes like they're gold, passing around videos of him laughing at her math like it's a new favorite song. On the other side, AOC's fans defend her like she's saving the world, saying Greg is just being mean.
Meantime, AOC has taken a break from doing nothing to get into a beef with the Twitter chief. On Tuesday, she tweeted, LMAO at a billionaire earnestly trying to sell people on the idea that free speech is actually an $8 a month subscription plan. That's a reference to Musk's plan to charge people $8 a month for verified blue checkmark status. But he hit back tweeting, your feedback is appreciated. Now pay $8. To be fair,
in the middle, regular people are laughing because, honestly, Greg versus AOC is funnier than most TV shows. But here's the deeper part. Under all the jokes, there's a real point. Funny stuff has always been a strong way to talk about politics, and Greg uses it like a superhero uses a sword. He doesn't just say her ideas are bad. He shows how she sells them. Her cool image, her social media hype, it all hides the messy truth. He shows how her catchy phrases sound awesome online, but don't work in real life. That kind of truth hurts, not because it's mean, but because it's right. Greg's jokes work because he says what people are quietly thinking. Is this Congress or a TikTok party? The timing is perfect. Politics is like a big show now, and AOC is the star, while Greg is the guy making fun of the whole thing. It's like a comedy roast, where the laughs are about the hard truths hiding underneath.
to be fair, she'd love to spend the $8, but she already bought a Tesla. He also tweeted a photo of some ugly AOC merch she's trying to hawk for $58. Overpriced merch, AOC. Seems pretty capitalistic of you, which according to you makes you evil. And according to anyone paying attention, also makes you full of...
When he laughs at her money math, he's really showing her big plans don't make sense. When he teases her, I'm for workers style, he's showing she doesn't always live like she talks. When he makes fun of her Instagram posts, he's showing that politics is becoming more about acting than doing real work. Then comes the reaction. AOC, who loves a Twitter fight, usually replies in ways that keep the drama going. Whether she sticks to her point or gets mad, her responses just give Greg more to joke about. It's like a game of ping pong. AOC says something, Greg makes fun of it, she answers back, Greg jokes again. It never stops, and people keep laughing. The big picture is super interesting. Greg's reminding everyone that politics isn't just about what sounds nice. It's about what actually works. If you can't explain how to pay for your big dream, maybe it's just a dream, not a real plan. Maybe it's just a tweet.
I mean, first of all, $80 per theater. I've made $80 in a theater, and there wasn't even a movie playing.
Wow. What do you mean?
I don't know. You know, it's no surprise. Who would go see a movie that's the opposite of entertaining? There's nothing entertaining about that. Michael Moore's colonoscopy is more entertaining than that because there's probably more twists. But it does show you how great it is to be a progressive in a liberal biased culture. She really doesn't do her job, right? She makes movies, she goes to galas, she sits for glossy butt-kissing interviews in GQ and other women's mags.
That's why Greg's jokes hit so hard. They're not just funny, they make things clear. They cut through all the emotional talk and social media speeches to show the problems. People love watching because, deep down, they're tired of hearing big promises with no proof. Greg says it with a joke. By the time it's over, AOC's image might still be okay. She loves attention, good or bad. But once you see the truth, you can't forget it. That's the real point. Not just one joke or one idea, but slowly showing she's not what she seems. Greg takes AOC's shiny image, tears it off, and shows what's really there. Once you see her power comes more from acting than making laws. It's harder to take her seriously. That's both funny and a little scary.
It is funny. That's
me.
You're
Right,
me.
she's not me. But I'm fascinated they thought there was an audience for this outside of like Earth Justice or the Justice Democrats, because who really wanted to go and see this thing? And then tomorrow you'll have an article that we'll have to talk about, which is that kids all over America are having nightmares about climate change. Well, no wonder.
Jessica, what about the fact that the climate activists are very much, they're very much enthused about what they do? And
If this is just one round of Greg versus AOC, get ready for more, because politics isn't slowing down, and neither are the jokes. Greg versus AOC isn't a one-time thing. It's like a TV show that keeps going. Every time she posts, talks, or makes a big deal on Capitol Hill, Greg's ready with a pen to turn it into a joke. It's not politics anymore. It's like a comedy show paid for by taxes. Take her talk about being for workers. She acts like a tough hero, ready to fight rich people. It's a kind of truth that makes you laugh and feel awkward, like finding out you've been paying for a gym you never use. Then there's her climate hero act. To her, climate change is like a bad guy in a movie. Big, scary, unbeatable. Unless we give her a giant budget to fix it. Her Green New Deal is like a magic fix. Snap her fingers and poof, pollution's gone. Planes run on happy thoughts. And every building gets a makeover like a TV show.
AOC was on 60 Minutes last night. Quite a feat for a newcomer. Must be all her great new ideas.
People are going to have to start paying their fair share in taxes. Once you get to like the tippy tops, on your $10 millionth dollar, sometimes you see tax rates as high as 60 or 70%.
What an expression. Now, the real story isn't AOC's very old ideas. It's the media's gushy view of her. Even with her old ideas, she gets on 60 Minutes. The past is called the future, and you better love it.
Greg looks at this and says, cool idea, but who's paying for it? Selling t-shirts? Suddenly, her big plan sounds less like a law and more like a kid asking for donations to buy a castle. Greg's smart because he doesn't argue like a boring adult. He makes fun of it like a comedian. He doesn't say, this math is wrong. He says, this math is like a kid's drawing after too much soda. He doesn't say, this plan needs more details. He says, this plan has as much detail as a stick figure house. That's why his jokes spread fast. They're easy to remember. While AOC's fans cheer her on, Greg laughs and turns it all into more jokes. It's like trying to win a water fight with someone holding a fire hose. You've got heart, but he's got the big stuff. The media's reaction is hilarious, too. AOC's fans and the news call Greg unfair or rude.
His delightful dancing video from last week. The media created a fake story that conservatives attacked her over this delightful trifle. Not really. In fact, the only stories written about the dance were by liberals using it to falsely smear the right. So the press creates a shield around her in which any criticism must be due to sexism or bigotry, when in fact it's in their heads and not ours. But the strategy works by preventing real criticism about her actual beliefs, which are retreads of horrible ideas from previous centuries. Socialism with a smile, fascism among friends, Venezuela meets vegan.
Meanwhile, Greg's fans share his jokes like they're stickers for your bike. The rest of us? We're just watching with snacks, enjoying the weirdest buddy comedy ever. One's the activist who's like a social media star. The other's the sarcastic uncle who never stops joking. Together, they make a show that's better than most stuff on TV. The big question is, what does this mean for politics? AOC loves attention, good or bad. Every tweet, meme, or viral moment makes her a bigger star. But once the shiny image fades, the magic is gone. That's why these moments matter. They're not just jokes. They're like reality checks dressed up as punchlines. They remind us that catchy words aren't solutions, followers aren't laws, and big speeches don't pay bills. Maybe they even remind AOC that being an internet star doesn't make you a Congress star.
The YouGov poll says AOC has 61% approval rating for Democrats, right? The highest of any Democrat unless they've been elected president. So if your new brand ambassador is going to be AOC, then I think it's more than just the messaging and the branding.
So by now you heard that AOC, among others, were arrested last night. She truly is an American hero. It was brutal, taken out in cuffs. Well, technically, her shirt had cuffs. Maybe French cuffs, as she did surrender without fighting.
Here's the funny part. AOC will keep doing her thing because without the drama, the flair, and the Instagram videos, she wouldn't be AOC. And Greg will keep pointing it out because without her, he'd lose half his jokes. It's the weirdest teamwork in politics. She gives him stuff to talk about, he keeps her in the spotlight, and we all get to laugh at the mess. So get ready, because this story isn't over. Every new idea, every new social media post, every big speech is just another chance for Greg to make a funny joke. If you thought this was wild, wait for the next one. AOC's the social media star of politics, and Greg's the guy who keeps making fun of her from the back of the room. In this comedy club called Washington, the mic's always on, the jokes are always sharp, and the truth keeps coming out.